Hello everyone, and welcome back to Accidentally Fasting Crappy Stuff Review.
Hello, hi, welcome back. Woo! It's a party over here in the Langston household. We got the cat sleeping here. We got a carpet cleaner on the ground because we had such a crazy morning.
Well, this is a landmark episode because it's our first episode recorded during the day.
Yeah, it's kind of fucking my chi up because it's extremely bright and I'm kind of a vampire.
Kind of a vampire. So, we wanted to do something a little bit different from the last time since we had a guest host and there wasn't so much of our witty married couple banter going on. So we wanted to do a Guilty Pleasures episode. Just stuff we like that we wanted to talk about or whatever. Just something stupid and goofy.
Yeah.
So I think we should start with YouTube.
Why don't you start with, because everybody knows what my fetishes with YouTube are, so
YouTube
why don't
fetishes?
you start? What kind of weird shit you watch on YouTube?
So,
Well, it doesn't have to be weird, but I mean, what is something that you, like a particular channel that's kind of like,
oh boy.
really, bro? Really?
Really? I don't know. Thinking off the top of my head, I don't know if I watch anything or if I subscribe to anything that crazy.
Okay, but you watch that, what's that one guy's name? Hunter Fisher Trapper or whatever? I mean,
Oh,
that
yeah,
guy, I mean, that's
Shotgun
pretty
Red.
guilty. Come on.
I guess if you're going to
Every
judge
time
me.
you watch it, I'm like,
Cooking
rolling
with
my
Shotgun
eyes.
Red. Hunter Fisher Trapper Trader Guide Scout and Interpreter. Shotgun Red here.
I mean,
Or
this
Steve
guy,
Hall.
he literally makes the grossest food. Like, I don't even understand why you watch him. And then he doesn't even really show himself eating it. So I'm like, what is the point, you know?
He takes a bite,
And then
he's got lovely Sheila behind the camera.
Oh, gosh. You know what? If you guys are watching this, I'm sorry. I don't know you, Sheila. You're probably a really nice lady, but damn, you annoy me for some reason.
She does? I
Yeah,
don't know. I really do. I mean, he's not like an amazing...
She's kind of like a Stepford wife, but for like a morbidly obese man. 'Cause she's like, she's always so agreeable and smiling, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah,
it's just
well,
those naturally happy people that bother me. Like, really, your
he's
life
the
can't be
boss.
that great.
Yeah. Well, to me, I like Shotgun Red more than Binging with Babish. Because I think Babish is, like, entertaining, but it's too polished and shit. Like,
I'm
it's
sorry,
not...
I'm not familiar with Babish.
Binging with Babish is, like, he cooks stuff. He started by cooking stuff from, like, TV shows and things like that. So he does, like, he does recipes. He's a good cook and everything. It's just... the gimmick is over with me for that guy. So
How many subscribers does he have? Do you know?
he's a big channel. I don't know how many subscribers he's
I was
Babish.
surprised that Hunter Fisher Trapper or whatever he's got. Doesn't he have like at least 100K or no?
I don't know
got,
if
like,
he's that
30K
high
or
up, but yeah,
something.
he's got more than I would have expected.
Those
But
are my favorite channels, are like the 30K people, because they start getting a little cocky. So then
that's what
you're
I'm
like,
saying. Yeah, the down home like you're sitting in their room type deal. But I don't like the like vlog type channel. I think the closest thing I like to that is AVE, which is Arduino versus something, Electrocity or whatever. I don't know, but other than that, I don't think I do subscribe to Shotgun Red because it's good stuff. But I don't know if there's anything else embarrassing or whatever that I should subscribe to or I do subscribe to.
Like, you don't like it. I would think they're like junk food YouTube channels. Like, they have absolutely no substance. You're not learning anything, which is like all I watch on YouTube, literally.
I do like a lot of competition food people. Like I watched that Matt guy, and I can't think of his name, but I subscribed to him, and he just ate like 1,620 fries, McDonald's fries. But he's like, it's crazy, dude. That guy must weigh like 75 pounds. Like, he's the tiniest dude in the world, but he's one of those competition eaters where he just stuffs it in his face. It does like 48,000 calories or whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess that's another one. But I really like, just stuff you can listen to that you don't have to pay attention to or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there a channel that you haven't mentioned that you really like, that you're like, oh my god, I don't want anybody to know about this?
No, I mean, I'm a pretty open person. I'm not ashamed. Fuck people that are ashamed by, what you find, what's fun to do. I mean, as long as you're not watching bestiality or something, then
Which shouldn't be on YouTube anyway, really.
You know what? Sometimes they let those little gems sneak in on YouTube.
You know what? I guess, I think
Don't you ever, find a video that you're like, sorry to interrupt you, this is me, but you find a video on YouTube and you're like, how the fuck was this allowed? Because sometimes one time I saw this stripping video of Black China, which, if you guys know who Black China is, she's like a famous quote unquote thought or whatever, but there was like a video of her stripping and she was like completely naked, and I don't know how that is allowed on YouTube.
Well, there's those videos you have to sign in to watch or whatever.
Oh, I guess I'm always signed in.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because I browse YouTube not signed in most of the time.
That's creepy.
But why is it creepy? I can't get to weird videos like that. That's part of the reason. But I was going to say, this isn't YouTube, but on Twitch, I was trying to do writing on Twitch for a while, live streaming my writing. And I found a couple people who were like, what do you call it? Like quaint or whatever. Like they were cute little channels where they like did writing and stuff and talked to the people. And they were really like, I don't know. They were pretty good channels, though. Just people writing, live streaming their writing.
I think it's always funny when you get recommended these weird videos. Like, I remember a couple weeks ago, I was watching just something random, something probably like Simply Sarah or something, and then it said recommended videos turned up getting male sexual assault in prisons, and it was like
Jeez.
a Danny Trejo documentary, and everybody in the comment section, they're like, I was just trying to watch how to make pizza. Why the fuck is this recommended? But I stayed for this shit.
It's
like
that YouTube crap, you know, and I don't like to get into that YouTube drama stuff, but
yeah,
they've got like really backwards like settings and how they do trending and stuff like that, their algorithms.
Yeah, it's really strange. But to go back to weird channels, I guess, there's this one lady, her name is Dreamer2Femme, and she's from Michigan, and she's only got like 7,000 subscribers. Not really, very, very. So she's got 7,000 subscribers, very, minimal channel and everything, but she's been doing it for like 10 years now. And what she does is just vlogs her daily life, all the mundane, boring stuff. Like, she'll just go to Aldi's and Costco every single day and does grocery hauls and just talks. Like, she'll just talk about laying her couch and do whatever. And I guess it's a guilty pleasure because it's so weird. I don't understand why I'm interested in her life and why I continue to watch it, but it's like the most boring shit ever.
That's kind of the point of YouTube too, to be able to do that and share. Like, it's interesting. It's kind of almost like a mass sociological study. If everybody did that, like, we would find out so much information about people, and probably, don't you think, like, be more comfortable being ourselves and shit? Like, not worry about dumb shit.
And it's just something cool because she's, her life is pretty boring, but she's so happy. I mean, at least she's pretending to be, but she's just very content that way. And it's just, I don't know, I think it's relaxing, but.
Well, and it seems more honest than Facebook. You know,
at
least, like, posting stuff on YouTube that's part of your daily life is, like, showing at least a bigger glimpse into reality versus like just posting like, oh my god, I got a puppy,
or oh my god, I'm in Hawaii and look at how fit I am, even though this is a picture from 10 years ago. But yeah, I mean, I prefer those. I still watch like people like Trisha Paytas, but that's like constant drama nonstop, which is nice every once in a while. But
so how do you feel like about, I feel like the little YouTube channels are really nice and stuff, but what do you think about movies? Like, are the little movies better than big movies and stuff? Like, you know what I mean? Like, big production shit's not really that great, I think. Like,
yeah, I'm not into it.
But those indie films are also like sometimes kind of.
Yeah, sometimes they can be really pretentious too.
I feel like when they try, they're either super pretentious or they try to be like big production. That's when they fail.
What was that movie about the transgender woman who, what was it called?
Tangerine?
Yeah, that one. I mean, that one was cool because it was just shot on the iPhone or whatever. It wasn't a big production. I don't know. Like, I don't really watch movies that much. I just watch documentaries, it seems, lately. Well, that is a movie, but.
Well, but I think that's a whole different thing, too. But I don't know if there's any documentaries I would call guilty pleasures. Like, Super Size Me is good, but looking back, it's a horrible movie. It's a horrible documentary.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to eat 10 Big Macs a day and I'm going to gain weight. Like, come on, And then it was all like correlation, not causation type bullshit. But
well, of course, if you say Super Size Me every time, of course you're going to gain weight, right? But if he had just eaten 2,000 calories or 1,800 calories at McDonald's, it would have been okay.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's, to me, I don't know. Like, I don't know if independent films... I guess my guilty pleasure of film starts with Freddy Got Fingered.
No, that's no guilty. You want to hear mine? This is Showgirls is like probably the biggest guilty pleasure, but I fucking love that movie so much. It's so amazing.
Yeah. I guess it's better now that I understand, like, that it's supposed to be stupid or whatever. Or maybe it's not supposed to be, but
It's
I
just
don't know.
campy. I love that genre, like campy movies. That's what
Yeah.
John Waters is. But then I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. I mean, who has? It's Illegal Aliens with Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god, the fork in the
movies like-
microwave.
movies like that. Like, I don't know who the fuck put her in, like, why they did that. Because that was when she was at the height of her drug addiction. I don't know what she was on, but, I mean, it was just
Yeah, that's
all
fucking
around, like,
crazy.
messy. Yeah, there's, like, one point in the movie where she's like, and why's my poopy hole sore?
She had a weird voice.
And why? Yeah, she, like talked like a weird
It was
baby.
kind of like the Kiss of the Vampire Kiss, whatever, where he's like talking in that funny continental accent.
Oh,
that he
yeah.
did. That was like really weird. I don't understand that.
So why was her poopy hole sore, though? Did we ever figure
They
that
either
out?
put something up it or she got like possessed by China or whatever, and I don't remember. Yeah, there's a reason.
Oh yeah, wasn't China like talking like she was like talking like this, or she was like talking really strangely
Yeah,
too?
yeah, she had another weird thing going on too. That's weird. I wonder how many other people were in that movie that died. You know.
China didn't die?
What? China died like years and
No
years
way, are
ago.
you serious?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
No way. What?
Yeah.
I don't remember this. Wow, this is like, what is that? That Bernstein
Oh my
Bears
god, no.
type shit?
I think you just. I know you know that.
No, I swear I don't remember.
You knew it before.
No, I don't. And what? It's kind of.
Did China ever make music?
First of all, her name changed to China Doll, and probably.
What about Anna Nicole Smith? Did she ever make music?
I think she did, actually. I don't know. I'm a big Anna Nicole stan. I love her so. Like, she was, like, literally the most beautiful woman ever to exist in the 90s, but
Yeah.
I follow a bunch of Anna Nicole fan pages on Instagram. Shout
I
outs.
didn't know that there was still like a thing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's got a cult following, yeah.
How old was she when she died?
I think she was probably in her, like, I don't think she was 40 yet. It was really sad how she died because her son died like the year before and she just had a baby, and I think she just was so heartbroken by her son dying, you know, because he was young. He was like 24 or something, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not trying to bring you guys down. I guess Anna Nicole's my guilty pleasure, so.
Just all around?
Yeah, because if you watch her, did you ever watch her reality show? Anna, glamorous Anna Nicole, you're so outrageous.
What was it called?
Anna Nicole Show.
Oh. Did I watch it?
Yeah.
No, I never watched it.
And then there was like this like interior designer guy. His name was Bobby. What was it? Something Bobby. I don't know. But he was this really irritating, like short, like flamboyant guy. And yeah, he was.
You know,
like,
in that same vein of reality TV shows, so my friend Amadeo, like we play video games, right? And when I forget what it was, like maybe 2 years ago or something, every time we would be playing, his girlfriend would be watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
you know, I'd hear it every 5 minutes, jiggly caliente. And so that was like a guilty pleasure of mine, was like listening to that shit while I played like Minecraft or whatever, like super relaxing game. And then I'd hear RuPaul doing some weird competition shit in the background.
That's supposed to be a really good show. I've never watched it at all, but it's supposed to be actually good, not that guilty.
What
but
movie
good.
was it that we just watched that RuPaul was in?
Oh,
The high school one? or
oh,
whatever?
Brady Bunch movie.
Yeah, the Brady Bunch movie. That was such a weird part, like, to have RuPaul
Well,
play
because like he was such a big part of that, you know.
of the culture of the Brady Bunch
Well,
stuff.
like just like the '90s, like that
Oh,
was such
yeah.
a big thing.
Well, and that really was like a 90s nostalgia movie wrapped in a 60s nostalgia movie.
Yeah, it was like actually really creative. Like watching that again, I was like, that's actually a very
Yeah, it's like
creative.
nostalgiaception.
Yeah, I love those kinds of movies where it's current era, but then mixed with, because like how Captain America, you know, is living in
Yeah, it
the
was World War
current
II.
world. I mean, I just like shit like that.
Well, and Blast from the Past with Brendan Fraser.
Wasn't there a movie we just watched about Hitler being like in 2019 or whatever? What the hell was that movie?
Oh, I don't know, but I know that Kung Fury had Hitler as the bad guy, and he was time traveling and stuff. That's a great movie. That's one of my. I don't think that's a guilty pleasure though.
Yeah. Sometimes, I mean, and then as far as music, like, I know that people are really pretentious about me. That's probably the biggest thing because I listen to so many different kinds of music, as we discussed, and then if I like 6ix9ine or, Blueface Baby, like everybody just is like, oh my gosh, how could you listen to that trash? Meanwhile, they're listening to It's Been a While.
Yeah, well, I was driving home the other day and the Turnaround came on and I was singing along with that. I think that's a guilty pleasure.
Oh man, the other day I was like really happy for some reason and drops of Jupiter in her hair.
Yeah,
I was like
who was that?
Train.
Train, yeah, Train.
Yeah, I was like belting that out and I fucking hate that song for real, but
some songs you don't really like them, but they're fun to like sing along with alone. Like, I don't know. There's a lot of like that one Britney Spears album that came out that she had like a new one or whatever.
With the Hold It Against Me album, yeah.
Yeah. That like was really fun to sing after on the way to a party to get all pumped up and stuff. I don't care. I think it was really fun. But other than that, band like I don't know if there's anything else too that like aside from like pop music or whatever, like girly pop music that's just fun stuff like.
Yeah, and going back to like I guess we were talking about manly versus girly things. Like it's funny that you talk about liking such a quintessentially girly album,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I think that's kind of what puts it in my guilty pleasure category, even though it's not like a bad thing to be what it is. I just think it's really fun music. It was just so dumb.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes you just gotta relax and have fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But sometimes, some people just have really good beats, like it's just fun to dance to. You're not gonna sit there and dance to fucking what is that band that everybody likes with the guy with the that.
Is that Imagine Dragons or is that fun or I don't know? Like
no, one with like not the accordion, but the Mumford and Sons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm not really.
I don't see anybody twerking to that music. Come on.
That's true. It's not really fun. I don't know. People would disagree, but to me...
I'm sure when you're drunk, everything is fun to dance to, though.
But that kind of pop music has never interested me. Like, there's this weird vein of, like, and it's probably because we've been together so long, and you listen to, like, Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and all this stuff, that, like, I get exposed to it over and over. But still, there are some bands that, like, people will play in their cars driving us around or me around or whatever, and I'm like... I don't get how you enjoy this.
And it's not guilty pleasure for them. They think that they're like awesome for listening to it, and
well, I think I'm awesome for listening to music that I like, so I can't blame them.
Like, what's that guy's name that opened up for Jimmy Buffett?
Boz Skaggs?
Yeah.
Boz fucking Skaggs.
He has no shame when listening to Boz Skaggs.
Oh. I was super drunk when we went to see Jimmy Buffett, and
well, how else are you gonna be? I was drinking a Four Loko. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, which was foreshadowing for Halloween since you were a Four Loko for Halloween.
Yes, and you know what? I just realized I'm gonna bring that dress because we're going a couple trips in very.
Well, we'll do an episode, Mardi Gras episode.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Mardi Gras and all this, Vegas and stuff. But I'm gonna wear the shit out of that Four Loko dress. I don't fucking care.
Fuck yeah. We could do a Bourbon Street episode, but we'll see about that. Things to look forward to.
Yes. Let's talk about, are we going too fast if I go ahead and start talking about Hot Pockets?
Oh yeah, guilty pleasures of food. I think my biggest one is like frozen corn dogs.
Yeah, you sure do like your frozen corn dogs.
Yeah, I could probably eat I think before I was like obsessed. Well, no, I was probably obsessed with chips and salsa at the same time. But I could probably eat like a corn dog and chips and salsa every day for the rest of my life. But I don't think chips and salsa is guilty pleasure. I don't know.
No, that's definitely not. I think it's just like that nasty like microwave food or just the frozen food, you know?
Oh God,
But
yeah.
I mean, like, because today I had Jose Ole, you know, beef and bean cheese mini tacos. Man, those are so fucking good. Like, they're so delicious, but I know they're just terrible, you know? But they're
Yeah, I didn't
great.
like them. I'd say that's a good
And
guilty
then
pleasure.
I'm like, I love Hot Pockets. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, the Hot
Yeah.
Pockets are good, you know?
Well, and I think that there's guilty pleasure foods, and then there's guilty pleasure places to eat. And like,
Applebee's.
I was not. I was gonna say that as a joke, but like to me, Wiener Schnitzel is like a guilty pleasure place. I mean, they have good shakes, but like actually eating
I
there,
just can't believe that a restaurant named that got so popular. Like, it's literally taking a penis and a poop ball, mix it together.
I guess that's what it is. But yeah,
No,
I'm
I don't
surprised
really
there's
like
not.
them at all.
Now wait a minute. This has always been a mystery to me. Okay, so the hot dog's like a long thing, and a burger is like a round thing. How come there's no like hot dog meat burgers?
Ugh.
I mean, it's like bologna or whatever, isn't it? Like kind of like a
Yeah, you
yeah.
can
But
have
how
a
come
fried
nobody?
bologna sandwich.
Yeah, how come nobody does like fried bologna sandwiches at these places?
I don't know. People are snobby about bologna. I love bologna. Like, bologna is good.
Well, it's weird. It doesn't have to be. And you know who I learned that bologna can be real good from is Shotgun Red.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, because he made a smoked bologna. He had like a big old cylinder of like 3 pounds of bologna. Spiral cut it, marinated it, smoked it for a couple hours, and it looked fantastic.
Yeah, but you didn't try it.
I would though.
I wouldn't try
I'm not gonna
anything that
buy
that
any,
guy's
like,
eating. I don't think he washes his hands.
I guess I've never noticed whether or not he washes his hands.
Sometimes you can just smell people from either you're watching a video, you can smell them from your phone or TV or whatever.
Yeah, he's got that definite like weird smell that like he looks like he would have. I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel bad for talking about the guy though, because he
his
seems like
ears.
a really nice guy. Though. Maybe that's
He
not true.
disables his comments though. I can't. This is my thing. Do not get a YouTube channel and not want any feedback. Like, I get so irritated. Guilty pleasure. This chick named Foodie Beauty. Everybody calls her Foodie Booty, but she disables her comments all the time. But she's like always on a weight loss journey. Like, she'll do these crazy fasts and then get binges on there's like this pizza place in Canada called Pizza that I really want to try. But anyway, she binges on that. It's like a whole cycle, and then she fasts, and then she talks about her diarrhea for like 3 hours. But
Oh,
anyway,
God.
she
That's
always
horrible.
disables her comments, and it's irritating. So then it fuels these hate channels that have to do reaction videos, because if you don't allow react or people to comment,
Right,
like
you have to
they're
have
gonna
that
have
interaction.
to, yeah,
You
they have
gotta
to have an
interact everywhere.
avenue.
Which is kind of cool that it fuels like another place popping up to do that, and I guess that would make it more popular anyway. But going back to YouTube now, I remembered that I like the Marble Olympics guy. I don't know what that channel is actually called, but every year he does like marble rally races and different tracks and races marbles and stuff, and that's a really good channel. It's a good Saturday morning channel when I'm doing something else, and I just throw that on and listen to the results of those races.
Iron in your suspenders for the next day.
Yeah. But let's go back to food for a little bit. So, I mean, I don't think like desserts, are there any, I mean, what?
Well, you like he likes Jack in the Box. But I mean, a lot of people like Jack in the Box.
I don't know if I like Whataburger a lot more, but Jack in the Box is the only 24/7 place on a main street coming to our house.
Lies.
Apartment and house.
There's Taco Bell and Taco Cabana and all that fun
I did
stuff.
like the superfoods veggies from Panda.
Oh, heck, hey, shout out to Panda. Look at you guys go, finally upping your veggies, you know?
Well, and the fact that they are another place with the calories. Does Taco Bell do calories?
Oh, yeah, Taco Bell's they're pretty forward on that. And they also have a lot of vegan stuff, too, which is
That's
cool
pretty
for
cool.
vegans. Yeah.
Well, and I'm doing my little 90% vegetarian kick. and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
been
how's that going for you?
Not well. Rules were meant to be broken. I caught a hard time from people at work because, like, I talked to this guy about smoking. I think I talked about this before.
I think you did talk about this,
But
yeah.
so that happened. So we go to lunch, our whole team, because somebody's leaving the team. These two people. So we have a going away lunch at this restaurant, and it's I try not to eat before 2 p.m. On most days. So it's like 11 a.m. And I had told someone that. So, of course, I get huevos rancheros, and the red chili had pork in it. So I was like, whatever, I don't care, I'm not a strict vegetarian. So I get my food, and the dude who was talking about smoking meat before and was all butthurt about the veggie burger that I ordered is all, but I thought you were vegetarian. What are you doing, right? And then this other lady turns around, who I had that veggie burger conversation with the guy with, and she's like, and I thought you said you don't eat before 2. And I was like, Jesus,
what?
People what
have
the fuck?
Your entire eating habits memorized?
Come on, man. Like, I didn't organize the lunch, and I didn't organize the place, and I've got to fit in, like, and the problem, here's what pisses me off about fucking New Mexican food and trying to be vegetarian. If you get a tamale, and it's a vegetarian or vegan tamale, it's just got fucking calabacitas in it. And then you get a side of calabacitas. So now you're literally just eating masa and fucking zucchini, which is good, but to me it's like too much.
Well, I think people do. They get very weird. If you mention anything about your diet and they see you, straying from that, they will call you out,
Yeah,
it's just kind of
really
weird.
It's
especially
like none of anybody's business.
Yeah, and especially if you're a healthy weight
are.
And you're not saying you want to lose weight and you're not asking for anybody's advice, and then people still do that. It's fucking weird. People do that to me as well.
Yeah. I'm sure everybody does it to everybody, but
I purposely eat like junk in front of everybody so they just leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah. Well, and I try to not, like, if somebody invites me to lunch, I'll be like, sure, like, I don't care. And I'll just get something like soup or a salad. But, it's difficult to avoid that, especially when you're like super stressed at work or whatever.
Well, I bet when you're a man though, it's harder, especially since you're supposed to be a meat eater. So the fact that you got a veggie burger was probably just like, and I don't know if y'all have seen Alex. He's a very manly man. I mean, he's got a beard, he's got a deep voice, he's got big hands, like, and yeah. So I think people are just automatically gonna assume that you want a big old steak,
Right, which I do. I mean, I want to eat a salad for 3 days and then go get a 23-ounce porterhouse. Like, that's how I roll. Good. But, so when I'm eating something like a corn dog and I'm feeling guilty for it, what am I going to be drinking? I think that, I was thinking about this earlier, I think my guilty pleasure cocktail is a Cape Cod.
What is that again? I don't know what that is.
It's a vodka and cranberry juice.
I love I guess. I don't know. Those are tasty though.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't like vodka and I don't like cranberry juice separate from a cranberry vodka. I'm never, I don't even order that much. Maybe like a painkiller, or I don't think I see that many cocktails as being goofy. Maybe like the weird funny blue colored ones, like a
Blue Hawaiian, yeah.
Yeah, Blue Hawaiian and liquid marijuana aren't bad drinks either, though.
No, heck no.
Just because you put Curacao in something doesn't mean it's a bad drink.
Well, mine is, like, I like trashy, I said before I like Four Loko. That's not an everyday thing, because that's just way too intense sometimes, but, like, I love Wild Turkey. That's my favorite thing, But apparently whenever I drink it, I break out in a rash, which isn't fun, but it still doesn't prevent me to drink it.
Well, a lot of times you get free drinks for drinking that.
Yes.
But I don't think Wild Turkey is like a guilty pleasure.
Well, people find it disgusting. Like, everybody's
so
like, what the fuck, you like Wild Turkey? It's disgusting.
So we went out partying with our family who were coming into town to surprise visit, sort of. And there was a guy with them, and I was like, hey, dude, let's do a shot. So we go up to the bar, and I got Buffalo Trace, which is a good bourbon. And he was like, well, let me buy you a shot now. And he ordered a pineapple upside down cake. And I was like, not that I didn't enjoy the drink, but I'm not one to go for like these, it's almost like half of a pint of juice with a shot in it. And I'm like, I'm not about that, because I don't want the sugar and the extra calories and the, like, lots of times lingering taste. Like, if you get something minty in a shot, that ruins the taste of everything else that I'm going to drink that night, But I was like, what was it about the straight bourbon that I ordered made you want to get me a pineapple upside down cake. That's a funny, it was good. And
I bet he was just trying to fuck with you, maybe.
Maybe that's it, yeah.
Because you were probably trying to be like, yeah, bro, I'm going to get this bourbon. And he's probably...
I don't think of shots as being and that's my problem, right? My inhibition or whatever is that, like, what's holding me back from exploring the world of shots is that I never order these really interesting drinks that are, to me, they're off kilter, but they're like normal for regular people, I guess. But I guess we don't go out to bars to do shots that often because a lot of times
unless
we're
with my family.
Right. Well, and we Ubered home, and now that Uber is around, I guess that's what I should do is explore the world of weird ass shots.
Yeah, I'm not into them at all. Yeah. I've never been.
Yeah, well, it's like a cement mixer is kind of gross if and then there's I don't know.
I just don't get it. We were just talking about this. There was a milkshake place in Dallas that we went to, and they sold alcoholic milkshakes. So you could get whatever shot you wanted in your milkshake. To me, I was just like, nah. I got my milkshake with the side of a shot, and that's what I always do when I drink. I drink black coffee and I'll eat a donut with it, instead of like getting creamer in my coffee or getting a frappuccino, just because I like my two things to be separate. I don't want no intertwining, but I do like pineapple on my pizza. I mean, I guess I could eat a bowl of pineapple, and then eat some pizza,
That'd be interesting, yeah. Pineapple upside down pizza. Well, that's like dessert pizza, like what, Godfather's or wherever does dessert pizza. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, there's that weirdo pizza. Well, I think it's like a Midwestern thing. I always see my cousins posting this weird shit, but it's like, it's like the kiwi whipped cream. Like, they call it a dessert pizza, and it's kind of like those salads, but they're not actually, there was like a...
Oh, it's like ambrosia pizza.
There was
a
Snickers salad that one of my YouTube ladies make, where it's, Snickers and then caramel and whipped cream, and I'm like, that's not a fucking salad,
Yeah, I really don't like them calling things like that. Like fruit salad, I guess, is a salad because it's fruit covered in whatever creamy stuff.
Cocktail, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good point. It should be like creamy fruit cocktail, not like whatever it is. But what's that salad with the Jell-O and the pretzels? Is that ambrosia with the whipped cream and
I don't know. That sounds disgusting.
Strawberries and whipped cream and Jell-O and pretzels. I really like it. I guess that's a guilty pleasure dessert from back in the Midwest. You know what I don't like is 7-layer salad.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that stuff is just there's like salad. Bacon bits and sour cream with peas in it and stuff. Like for some reason, I can't do it. And I think it's probably because when I was in my teenage angsty years, we would go visit people, and then they would make 7-layer salad for everything. And
it's just so funny to be an angsty teenager in the Midwest.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. What Lance was saying, the goth girl in the Applebee's. It's kind of how I felt my entire life in Ohio.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't goth.
Well, and I thought, I'm still confused on whether there are more goth girls or Applebee's in the world. I mean, I don't
think there's a lot of goth. Well, I think goth made a comeback a little bit with there's a lot of Instagram gothots, but they're on there, and I don't know. So, I guess it's trendy to be goth.
And I had something to say that I forgot about that I thought was going to be really interesting. I followed up. Okay, weekend update. If you weigh, I think it's 512 pounds at 10 feet, that's the border of a healthy BMI.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you go to 513, you are hitting an overweight.
So Lance was wrong. He said that you could be, so what was overweight? 500 and what?
512 is the high end of a healthy BMI when you're 10 feet tall.
And then when does it start? So 512, over 512, you're unhealthy?
I'm pretty sure that 600 was still overweight. Like, there's a very broad
so you're not
range.
Obese at 610.
Well, I'm not sure. This was like the Google BMI calculator or whatever. So it wasn't, the most reliable source or whatever, but...
Interesting.
Yeah, so I thought that was... Dun, 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 the weekend update of stuff.
So now we know you can't even be 10 feet and be 600 pounds. Damn.
Yeah. So you must have to be like, if you're 512 pounds or whatever, you must have to be like 18 feet.
That is so crazy to see
feet.
A 10-foot person be 500 pounds and look a normal weight. That's so crazy.
Well, if I'm 6 and 220 and I look semi-normal, then if I were Excuse me.
Ew.
How to fuck up your podcast segment accomplished.
Daddy did a little oopsie daisy.
Yeah. So I would look the same, right, at 12 feet and 440 pounds. So that's sort of the same for me, right?
It's just really scary to think about that. Like, no offense to all our 10-foot listeners right now, but I'm sorry, that's frightening.
Yeah. Well, and if you're 10 feet, you shouldn't be listening to this podcast.
Well, there was a documentary or something about like a 10-foot guy, and he had a bunch of health problems because of it.
Yeah. Well, there was wasn't the Elephant Man, Joseph Merrick or whatever. He was pretty tall. I don't know if he was 10 feet, but
Well, tall back then was like 5'9", you know, so we don't know what's going on with that.
yeah, I'm not sure. But hey, if you're tall enough that you die in your sleep because
No,
you
it was
decide
because
to
of
lay
his
down.
head.
Well, I know.
Wonder what a healthy BMI is for a head.
Just the head?
Just
Hey, did you want to know how to lose 15 pounds of ugly, useless weight real quick?
I don't know how.
Chop off your head.
My daddy, that was his joke.
Yeah, that was a really weird joke.
It's so true though.
Yeah, I guess so. So drinks. Is Baja Blast considered? I don't. That's not a guilty pleasure.
Any Mountain Dew drink is a guilty pleasure.
Is guilty pleasure? I
Yeah.
think it's a pleasure. It's just a straight pleasure. I don't know about guilty. I mean, maybe because I feel guilty if I drink a 2-liter jug of Baja Blast, which I don't know if that exists, but
You don't think it's a little bit? It's not embarrassing, but kind of like, I don't know, because when I think of Mountain Dew and all those things, I think of either like, people like neck beards or whatever, or like people that are like 10-year-olds, So it's just kind of weird to see a grown ass man drinking a Baja Blast.
I had a boss in the first IT job that I had. He drank Diet Mountain Dew nonstop.
Now that's classy AF.
Fucking stop. But then I had a friend from high school who got diabetes in college because all he did was eat Domino's and drink Mountain Dew while he was playing World of Warcraft. So he was one of the World of Warcraft guys. So that phase, and I'll say if I wanted to pay monthly to play a game, I'd play World of Warcraft.
Do people still play that?
Well, I don't know if the numbers are that great. I'm not sure, but I know Blizzard as a company's not doing that well because they announced some stupid video game that was just a reskin of a Chinese mobile game.
So what about beer-wise? I mean, a couple nights ago, I went out with my friend, and I asked the bartender, I was like, can I just have a light beer, whatever, because I was trying not to get that drunk, but mistakes were made. And I was like, do you have a Bud Light? And then he's like, no, I have Coors Light, though. So I was just drinking tons of Coors Light. And you know what? It wasn't bad, but I definitely felt kind of strange drinking it,
I'm not a big fan of Coors Light. I mean, I was going to say, actually, beer-wise, I haven't had it in a long time, but I remember really liking Honey Brown, which is like the cheapest.
Oh, I don't like that.
It's basically like syrup with beer. I don't know. I don't even know if there's actual. They make like flavorless root beer and then pump 5% of alcohol in it or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not one of those beer snobs though. Those people really irritate me. Sometimes you just want to drink whatever and you don't want people judging you, but you get it from both sides because the people that only drink Bud Light or Coors Light, they act like you're crazy for your beer taste and, or like for me, I love IPAs, but apparently there's like this sect of people, there are all these memes going around saying like IPAs are like that. What were they equating it to? Like they're just basically
IPAs are the white man's
pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, really? Come on, that's not true. But
I think it's pretty true
for some people. But I think people need to realize that women do like IPAs.
There are always outliers to the what general rule or whatever. But no, the other thing is I have a lot of guilty pleasure beers. I don't care. Land Shark is like one of my favorite guilty pleasure beers. Like a shot of tequila and a Land Shark with a lime in it, I think that's really good.
Yeah, Land Shark's okay. I wouldn't like go on my way and drink it, but I wouldn't say that's a guilty pleasure though.
I don't know.
It's kind of an old man beer though.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not. Well, maybe it is my demographic of beer since I'm a 30s white male.
I love what do I always drink? Oh, I always drink like Diet Coke and then Jack Daniels or no, Captain Morgan or something. That's
Yeah.
like I mean, it's not really a guilty pleasure, but it's like, it seems gross, you know? And it's like,
Well, it
yeah.
is. I don't like diet drinks. I don't know. I just can't handle the
I think
taste
it
of them.
tastes good, but yeah.
I don't know. Um, yeah, that's
All this talk about guilty pleasure is making me want to make some sloppy joes. That sounds so fucking good. When's the last time you had a sloppy joe? I mean, come
I
on.
don't know, but somebody's got
Sloppy joe
I was
sliders.
just gonna say that. That's what I need in my life right now.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Well, so let's see. We did YouTube, we did movies, sort of. We kind of yeah, we did a good little bit about music. We did food, drinks, podcasts. I think I would say right away Auntie Donna, which is also YouTube. I think that's a guilty pleasure because there's no value to it. It's just funny and it's like annoying funny or whatever. But the podcast, like, it's horrible because I will lay in bed trying to go to sleep because that's when I listen to most podcasts and things, and they'll make me fucking laugh at the dumbest shit. Like there was an episode the other day where they were pretending to be the bad guy from Superman, who was like Michael something, right? And they're pretending to have him in the studio, and then they're talking about like, I don't know, him doing anal sex or something like that. So I'm laying there trying to sleep. I don't remember what it was, but so that's to me, that podcast is like my guilty pleasure probably. Do you, what would say is your guilty pleasure podcast?
like, just thinking about this, I mean, I listened to Focus on the Family, which is like, if you guys know James Dobson. Actually, I watched the Ted Bundy documentary, or the most recent one on Netflix, where James Dobson interviewed Ted Bundy, and he starts fake crying, saying how pornography was the cause of him to be a murderer and all this
That's so
stuff.
fake, yeah.
But yeah, it was just terrible. But anyway, he found it in. It's like evangelical Christian podcast. Which is not my views at all. I'm not an evangelical Christian at all, but I like to listen to it. I don't know. Some of it I just don't agree with at all, but I mean,
You're peeking a lot because you're looking at your microphone. See how my voice doesn't do it?
oh,
So it messes up the audio when we mix it. So just wanted to say that.
okay. Yeah, but it's not really a guilty pleasure.
So, well, it's a weird, I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's always good to get different perspectives from things like that, like radio shows, podcasts. Although it's hard to have guilty pleasure radio shows because you're so force fed that crap. Like there's only like 10 radio stations, and there's like, I don't think there's one really, unless there was like, oh man, I don't
Whatever.
know.
There's a station in Albuquerque called Ed FM, and it plays like really like just like soccer mom type kind of, I guess, like drops. I think that's where I heard Drops of Jupiter was on that station,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Alex listens to that a lot. It'll
Not
be
as
like
much
blasting in
that's
your
usually
car
when you're in the car though. I
torture
think
me.
the one that I listen to, I think, is called The Rain, which always reminds me of Airheads when they're
That's
like,
the Muzak, right?
or
The
no, it's
Muzak
not
channel.
called The Rain, is it? No, that one's the Oasis. That's my guilty pleasure channel. Yeah, you thought of it. So it's smooth jazz, which I really like real jazz, and I don't consider smooth jazz to be real jazz. It's just, pre-written, whatever, soft music. It's easy listening or adult contemporary, really. But I'll listen to that station because we had a jazz station up until like 2010 or 2011, and then it turned into a classical station. So, which is still, that's okay sometimes, but it's just, sometimes you got to get your shitty jazz music fixed, like elevator music stuff. But they never really play anything real. I don't know. I guess that's it. I guess that would be my guilty pleasure radio station, which is weird because I totally wasn't thinking that they existed.
Yeah, who even thinks of that anymore?
Yeah. Maybe it's called The Breeze, the one that I was thinking, because The Rain is the one from Airheads. That's why I was confused when he said, listen to the soothing sounds of the rain. Which is funny that I think Daddy's Home 1 is actually the sequel to Airheads.
Oh yeah, it kind of is. Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah. I don't know who the characters would be. Maybe Brendan Fraser grows up to work at a radio station and becomes Will Ferrell. Maybe that's what happens, but they couldn't get Brendan Fraser to act in it. So the last guilty pleasure thing that I wanted to talk about is books. So I don't know if you have any books. I know because it seems like you read more paperback or actual physical books back in the day.
Well, yeah, I haven't read any books in a while, but I guess I was, but this, I mean, I was a teenage girl. I was obsessed with V.C. Andrews, those books like Flowers in the Attic about the brother and sister fucking each other and stuff. Like, I was obsessed with all of those books. I would read them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I also read Jenny McCarthy's like anti-vaccination book too. And I didn't that's kind of stupid because I didn't really like it. It was just
some of those, yeah. When I first started that same IT job where the guy always drank Diet Mountain Dew like 24/7, when I started, he gave me a copy of one of Bill O'Reilly's books, and I was like so surprised. I was like, "What the heck is all this about?" Like,
I think it's because you were so young and he thought you're probably like adaptable or he's trying to mold you, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, well, I think he was trying to be like sort of a father figure because I was really young, and it's true. Like I did learn, and I can't even quantify the amount of IT important stuff I learned from that business and that guy. So, and actually, that was kind of what made my Linux interest flourish and stuff, and my knowledge there. But
Hey, do you
the Bill
think you should
O'Reilly
have
book,
your Linux club meet? You guys could do a podcast, sit around and talk about Linux.
that's true. So I actually, yeah, so I have a Linux club through work, and we could do like a Linux podcast maybe, but that I
I'll
don't
be in the
know.
other room watching Simplicera or something.
Yeah, I don't know. There's only so much that you can do with Linux podcasts, and I think the two of them that are big do it. So if I had a Linux podcast, it'd be like this, but we would talk about Linux more. So I think I don't know if there's a point in me doing that, because I couldn't really
I would just
couldn't
pop
do it
in
justice.
randomly and be like, which Linux distro is the best to watch porn?
Well, it's Backtrack Linux, because, you got to have the hacking tools. But, so books, you were talking about books and your V.C. Andrews stuff.
Well, you liked all those. What was that fucking guy's name? The Fight Club guy? I didn't think
Palahniuk?
Yeah, I to me, if I liked those, that would be a guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
'cause
no,
don't
I
like them.
agree. I think like post my Fight Club obsession, which I think every like white male went through, like a Fight Club obsession, and now I'm looking back like that was my embarrassing teenage time when I did that. Like, I mean, I think he had a good book. I think Survivor, about the guy crashing the plane to kill himself, was a good book.
I think Choke was okay.
Choke, yeah, I think the movie was about as good as it could have been too. Like, I think that he just had this weird thing of like, I think in Fight Club and Choke, it ends with everybody the guy knows showing up and like either helping or undoing, like he's building a castle, I think, in Choke, and everybody he's wronged comes by and tears the castle down or something like that. Like something totally bizarre, which is like a real cop-out ending, I think. Nothing against Chuck Palahniuk, because he's written way more books than I have, which I've written a couple, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about Chuck Palahniuk anymore.
That's fine, me neither.
That's why I feel super guilty for having, I don't know, that one monster or invisible monster or whatever, where the lady shot her own jaw off. That was pretty interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
He had really good ideas. I think Chuck Palahniuk should have written independent films, like Lullaby, where the African song kills people and the parents sing it to their babies, and that's kind of the cause of SIDS. Like, that was a really cool idea. I don't know if I read that book. I don't remember. I think I did. But other than that, I think Bukowski is now, because of the way the world is now versus when he was writing, I think that he's now a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, but he's just it's hard because he's just so, I really like his stuff, I don't like his poetry. I'm more into his novels, but
Yeah.
like Woman was just Ham on Rye is like one of my favorite books.
That was a really good one. I can't believe I waited so long to read his novels, because his poetry was so influential on me.
Yeah.
I think that like my poetry wouldn't be the same without reading Bukowski, which leads to another guilty pleasure of music, the Deftones.
Oh man, Deftones I used to that's one thing when I first met Alex, I was like, the fuck, every single song sounds the same. Why are you listening to this, But then now I listen to it a lot, actually.
Yeah. Well,
so.
I think they're willing to branch out more. And I watched that Lie Likes Music or whatever. Have you ever seen that YouTube channel?
No.
So the guy explains bands. So there's one for Radiohead and Deftones and Smashing Pumpkins and all, etc., etc. But the one about the Deftones is like sometimes they're called the Radiohead of nu metal. And
Interesting.
yeah, well, I think with White Pony, if they had kept going in that direction, they could have been, right? But they went back in the like heavier direction, which, you know, I liked their self-titled well enough. I think Saturday Night Wrist was the last album I liked, but Chi Chang was the bassist of the Deftones before he died in a very extended, horrible case of a car accident of him not wearing his seatbelt. So
Yeah.
but he was the one, he talked about Bukowski first, and then I heard the Chili Peppers talk about Bukowski on Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and that's why I started reading. And I think my first Bukowski book was Slouching Towards Nirvana, which was a really good poetry book.
So to go back to guilty pleasures of music. Oh wait, we're still talking about it. So never mind. Not to go back, but to proceed. I was reading the Wikipedia of Chief Keef yesterday because 6ix9ine admitted that he was hired people to kill Chief Keef in a game related thing.
Wow.
But I was reading his Wikipedia, and Lou Reed actually like co-signed Chief Keef, which is hilarious. I love Velvet Underground, but it's just so funny that, you know, that I like it. It just shows you that it doesn't have to, pretentious people are what you think is pretentious. I mean, if they see something as being good art, then it doesn't matter, you know, what genre it is. If you think because popular rap is you know, unintellectual or whatever. But he said it was just inspiring because Chief Keef does a song with Kanye West, I think about alcohol, I'm not sure, maybe alcohol addiction, but basically just, you know, giving him a lot of positive feedback that he was such a tough guy from Chicago and talks about that in such an emotional way, you know. But
you know what's interesting about that is that the Velvet Underground really sang about sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and they didn't do it in a pretentious way. Like Andy Warhol was a pretentious aspect of that band. But, like, Loaded was totally, like, you could probably transpose that into current rap lyrics.
Yeah, but Loaded was, like, people stopped listening. Everybody sees their downfall after John, was it John Kill? Because he left after...
White Light, White Heat.
Yes, so then everybody thinks after that, which is, to me, their self-titled, not Velvet Underground Eco, but their second Velvet Underground, their second self-titled is my favorite album, and that's, you know, after White Light, White Heat. But
yeah, that's crazy, because I really never listened to that.
Yeah.
That album, like... I think that Velvet Underground and Nico was like pop, like 90% pretentious. White Light, White Heat was like no pop, 100% pretentious.
Yeah,
but still
I'm
a
not
good
a bad.
album.
Yeah, I used to be like, I kind of would have to force myself when I was a youngster to like it, just because it was like one of my favorite bands. So I just remember thinking, oh, you gotta listen to this, but the whole time I'm like, eh.
Yeah, I kind of like the droniness, the repetitive aspect of that album. Which again, I think can totally apply today to a lot of the music that's going on outside of like the country and rock circles, even though those are sort of borderlining that stuff too. But, you know, they're not singing about having a beer with Jesus, which I think is the downfall of the music industry today.
You mean having a Baja Blast with Jesus while listening to Focus
Buddha?
on the Family?
Yeah.
That sounds like such a fun time.
So it sounds like we need to do a YouTube video. Our first real YouTube video should be us eating corn dogs, Hot Pockets, Baja Blast.
Yeah, we should do a guilty pleasure food episode.
Doing a reaction video to Focus on the Family.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so that'll probably never happen, but I think that's it. I think that's everything that you can have a guilty pleasure in, aside from like clothes and weird stuff, like whatever.
Yeah, there's tons of other things, but this is my final advice. Alex says he loves when I give advice. Just kidding. But, you know, fuck the haters, man. You like what you like and you be proud of it. And if you like something that isn't popular or people think is stupid or whatever, or if you want to eat that third lean pocket, you go for it.
Yeah.
Just don't post about it on Facebook a lot because nobody gives a fuck.
That's true. Well, we're not on Facebook, so you guys post whatever you want.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And I don't really want to tell people what to do, but migrate to Instagram, where we are accidentally fasting. I enjoy sneezing and Langston books. Or go to the website, accidentallyfasting.com. We've got links to the podcast and RSS feed, iTunes, all that fun stuff. And we post little blogs every other day or so that are kind of funny.
Subscribe to our mailing list.
Yeah, which we don't have, but we'll have at some point in the future, maybe, possibly, I don't know. Otherwise, peace, love, accidentally fasting, and
Bye, guys. Have a great day.
See you guys. Thanks for listening again to another episode.